So today what you're going to do is you're going to recognize the complex numbers. That's the real and imaginary number mix. We're going to practice adding and subtracting complex numbers. We're going to multiply them, divide, and we're going to find those huge powers of I. This is all review. Okay, so look at question number or example number 1. First of all, when you take a real and an imaginary number and put them together, that's what a complex number is. How do you simplify this negative root 49?
7.
So this is going to be 5 plus 7i. Now I want your answers in standard form. Standard form, this is the real part and this is the imaginary. This is the a plus bi. This is your a value, this is your b, and that's your I. Everyone got that?
Yeah.
Okay, how about the next one? 3 minus, okay,
3 root 2
3 root 2
I.
I. Now, this is the a part, this is the b part, and that's the I, standard form.
Do we have rational?
Rational
Can you tell
in
us
the
your
denominator,
teacher?
we have no denominator so far, so
Did you put the I?
how about this one?
Are you serious?
They just want you to put 0i. They want you to write it in this a plus bi format.
that's
What about this letter D?
0.
So 3 times 5 times 5 is 75, right? So how would you simplify this? Mm-hmm. Now if you want to put the 0 in, that's your A value, this is your B value, that's your I. Okay, next. Read the directions. What are they asking you to do? Add or subtract. So if we're adding, I don't want to see any foiling going on in this problem. There's no multiplying. You're simply adding these two. This is a standard form complex number, standard form complex number. So you're going to add like terms. What's 7 minus 6? 1. And then what's 5i minus 3i? Easy? Okay, next. Now again, this is not all that is on the test. You need to go back to section 4.5 and finish your homework. This is just a little review, so make sure you do all the problems in 4 or 5. Okay, what should you do with this problem? I would simplify these two pieces right here.
6
Okay, so 5 minus 72. If I were to look at 72, it's 8 times 9, right? And this is 3, 3, 2, 2, 2. So yes, Trevor, you're right. It's 6, what did you say, 6? Root 2, I. And we're going to subtract negative 6 plus, now what do you do with 98? What times what is, 2 goes into 98 what? 49, and then 7 times 7. So this is going to be 7 root 2i. Questions on that? Now, what do you do next? Distribute the negative. Negative, negative, what's this 6 going to become? Positive 6. 6 and 5 is 11. And now what do you do with these two? Minus 13 root 2i. Now why is it negative 13? Because you have to distribute the negative here. Okay, next. Number 3. What should you do with this 3i? You have a 7 minus 4i. What do you do? Distribute. What do you get? 21i minus 12i squared. And Courtney's saying plus 12 already. So she's converting. What's I squared equal to? Negative 1, so this is 12. How will you write your answer?
12 plus 21.
Very good. Okay, how about the next one? I would convert this first and convert this and then do your distributing. 4i and root 3i plus 5. So you get 4 root 3i squared, negative 4 root 3 And that's it. And then what? And then 20i. Did everybody understand that? And the last one, number C, or letter C, I should say. Okay, so I would convert this first. 3 minus, it's going to be something I, and then this is going to be root 2i, and then plus 4. With these negatives, you always want to convert it first. Do not try multiplying because you're going to lose a negative. So 32, let's bring 32 to the side here. 2 times 16 is 32, right? And this is 4 times 4. So how would you rewrite this? 4 root 2i. Did you get that? 4 root 2i? No?
Yeah,
4 times 4 is 16. So you pull the 4 out. The 2 stays in. Now, what are you going to do with this whole mess? FOIL. Very good. FOIL. So what is 3 times root 2i? 3 root 2i. And then 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, now check this out.
Here we go.
What do you get here? You get negative 4 times 2, which is negative 8. Negative 8,
So it'll just be 8.
so it's plus 8, right?
Yeah.
Did everyone catch that? No? I'll say it again. This times this. I'm going to grab a sheet of paper here. Do it off to the side. This time we're FOILing. You have negative 4 root 2i times root 2i. See, you have a
Okay,
couple
I
of, so that's going to be a 2. And you multiply it with that, so that's negative 8. And then what's I squared? Negative 1.
I'll make it positive.
And that's how you get your 8. Okay, and the last, what's negative 4 root 2i times 4 is negative 17 root, I'm sorry, 16 root 2i. Okay, now is there anything that we can add together?
12 and 8,
What do you get?
20.
And what about these two? Good? Yes or no? Straight. Okay. What's up with a 4a? Got to get rid of this. Now we can just multiply by I. What would be the conjugate of I? Is really negative I, but you really don't need the negative. You'll get rid of it. So what's I times I? Negative 1. And then on top you're going to get 5i minus 1. Now, you could, see this negative 1, you can shift it up here and make this negative 5i plus 1. And the better answer, because it says write your answer in standard form, would be 1 minus 5i. Do you understand that? Okay, next. What is the conjugate for b? 3 what? 3 plus I. Okay, so what do I do now? So the conjugate is 3 plus I. What are you going to do now? 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times I is 3i. And some of you guys can do these next two steps together, which is fine. I'm just writing it out for those that don't understand. And then, so I just did, these are the first, outer, inner, last. Don't do anything with it yet. Let's do the bottom. What's 3 times 3? Now, what's going to happen with the next two? The outer, we do the
They're gonna cancel
first,
each other out.
they're going to cancel. So do I need to do them?
No.
No, I want to do the last ones though. What's negative I times I?
Negative I squared.
Okay, now let's combine like terms. I always start back here. What does that 4i squared become? Negative 4 with 9 is 5 plus 15i over 10. Good job. Now, if you can simplify, is there a number that you can think of that goes into 5, 15, and 10? Let me have it. 5. What's your final answer?
1 plus 3 and then 2.
Beautiful.
Would you have to show that you took the 5 out or no?
Just if you go from here to here, I know. Now, a lot of people, what they'll do is separate them. They'll write 5 over 10 plus 15i over 10, and then they'll simplify it 1/2 plus, and then write 3 over 2i. That's another good answer. It's the same thing. I'll take either one. Okay, the last 4, you have these huge powers. Actually, this first one's not a huge power, but you're going to rewrite these in terms of I squared, right? Because we know, what is I squared? It's -1. So I squared, how many times does 2 go into 5? Don't tell me 2.5. I want this to be whole numbers. I want it to be a whole number. So 2, we have 2 squared is 4 of the i's, and we have 1. If this is an odd number, you'll have 1 left over I. Now, what did we say I squared is equal to? What's this equal to? -1. What's -1 multiplied by itself? 1. So what's your answer? 1i. Easy? Okay, how about B? Okay, so this one, this is going to be even. So we're going to have 6 outside. What's another name for I squared? -1 to an even power is +1. You get this? Okay, how about C? I squared, 2 goes into 23, 21 times, 12 times, no, 11, 22 with 1 left over, 23. So this is going to be -1, 11 times is odd, so it's -1, so your answer is -I. And the last one, 98. How many times does 2 go into 49? So it's going to be -1 to an odd number, which is easy. Those are easy? Okay. All right, backside. These are from 4.6. Can you tell me, if I asked you to solve this for x and for y? See this? This is your a value, and this is your bi. This is your a, and this is your bi. Can you think of a way to solve for x and for y? You set your 2 a's equal to each other. So you have 6x equals 36. So what's x? 6. And then you have -3yi equals 27i. The i's cancel, and you get -9. Easy? Good. Okay, the next one, number 2. I want you to solve, and I want all the answers real and imaginary. So what should I do to this -5x? So you have 3x squared plus 5x plus 4. Now, it is an x squared problem, so whip out something for me to solve this. What's the easiest thing to do? Quadratic formula. It says x is equal to the opposite of b. B is 5, so -5 plus or minus b squared, so 25 minus 4 times 3 times, it's 4ac, all over 2 times a, which is 6. Okay, so next, what do I do?
Simplify the answer.
What do I get? Looks like I'm going to have a negative under the radical. So I need to multiply 4 times 3, which is 12, and 12 times 4 is 48. So what I have here is -5 plus or minus 25 minus 48 over 6. And Trevor said this is negative 23. And what's my better answer? Negative 5 plus or minus root 23i over 6. Questions? That's it. Those are your two answers. They're both imaginary. These are complex numbers. Number 3. Now, if you have a trinomial where it starts with a 4 power, and then a 2, and then this is x to the 0 power. Now, how many answers should you get? You better get 4 answers. There's 4 solutions when you're talking real and imaginary. So, can I FOIL this
Yes.
or factor it? What do you get? What do I put in these two spots?
X squared minus 3 and x squared plus 2.
Now, can you tell me, Matt, how you did that?
Well,
Because people ask me that, so I'm going to ask you that.
Just popped in his head.
Yeah, so I thought of it as an x squared minus x minus 6, so then I just saw that.
This is what he's doing. He's pretending it looks like that,
yeah.
and then he says, okay, well, negative 3, whoops, this is negative 6.
And then I just put the square in front of the x.
Yep, and that's exactly what you do. Now, are we done? No, we're not done. We have to take each of these products and set them equal to 0. So you have x squared minus 3 equals 0. So what do you do now? Add 3 and then square root them, and what do you get?
X equals plus or minus square root.
Now, if you forget both of these, what am I going to do to you?
Mark it.
Mark you half off. What are these two answers here?
Plus or minus y.
And you can do that in your head, right? So do you have, check yourself. Do you have 4 answers? I sure do. 2 of them are real. These are just irrational. And these are imaginary. But we have 4 solutions. Okay. Ooh, what do I do with this one? Take out a 2x and you're left with what? Okay, now see how many answers should I get? 4. I got one of them. What's one of them? X is 0. Okay, how do I factor x cubed minus 27? Then what?
X plus.
Plus 3x plus 27. You guys remember this?
No.
Can you
No,
break the X out?
not ringing a bell.
Here, x cubed minus 20. How do you, this is called, anyone know what this is called? The difference, it could be some more difference, of 2 perfect cubes. You put one of each of these in your binomial, so x and 3. Whatever that sign is goes in there.
And then you flip the sign.
And then you take these 2 and put them next, and then you flip the sign and multiply these 2, you get 3x, and this is always a plus sign, and these 2 multiply to give you 27. Now, we said this answer is 0, so we got one of the 4. We know another one. What's the other one? And you guys normally do fine up to there, and then it falls apart. These 2 answers, there's 2 more hidden answers here. You're going to have to use either the quadratic formula or complete the square. These 2 answers are either going to be irrational or imaginary. I would not go for the complete the square on this one because that's an odd number. So you're going to do negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So negative 3 plus or minus, help me out, what's 27 times 4 is 100. So 9 minus 100, did you say? Wait, no, 108. What's wrong? 108. And that's going to be, he said negative 99, right? And how do you simplify that? 9 times 11, so it's negative 3 plus or minus 3 root 11I over 2. Questions? Oh, I made a mistake. I knew this was wrong, you guys.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
9.
that's what they all say.
I'm like, that
You
shouldn't
said
be.
we'll take all two together.
These
All
two are
that
9.
Matt messed it up too.
I'm like, that's why I got messed up. Sorry, my bad.
Still works.
4 times A times
Yeah, I
C.
kinda wanna- I thought that was
This is gonna be 36, my bad. What's 9 minus 36?
That's mine.
It's negative 20. I knew, I'm like,
That's why you just don't write anything down.
I've done this problem a zillion times. I should know better. Negative 3 plus or
No, you're
minus
breaking jobs.
negative 27 over 2. So it's negative 3 plus or minus 3I root 3 over 2. And the I can go at the end. Okay, this is the correct answer right there.
Alright,
Sorry, guys.
it's okay.
Okay, the next 4 you guys seem to have trouble with. These were from section 4.6. If you did not have a chance to do your homework, this is where these are coming from. The back side, 4.6. And these are all in the book. So hopefully you had a chance to do these problems. Take a look at them, but we're gonna do these next 4 together. Okay, I want a polynomial. I want this to have a degree of 5. And my zeros are negative 2, but it has a multiplicity of 3 and 4I. So, anyone want to give me a suggestion, especially on this right here?
Matt.
Get rid of the. Oh, plus or minus 4 i's, 2 zeros.
So you have a negative 4I. Whenever you have an imaginary or an irrational zero, they come in pairs. So it's going to be x minus 4I, and what else? And x plus 4I. Now, what's the other zero? It's at negative 2, so it's x plus 2. But it has a multiplicity of 3. So you're going to want to count to make sure you count 5. 3, 4, 5. It works. Now, I don't want, it says, leave your answer in factored form, but not with imaginary zeros. So this needs to be factored.
Squared plus 16.
So you're gonna have x squared plus 16. Yep, and you can stop. You don't have to factor this anymore. Okay? Now, what if, just to review really quick, what if I see this 0 right here, 4I? What if it was something like 2 plus 3I? You have a 2 minus 3I. Let's review this. So you're going to write x minus 2 plus 3I. And x minus, what did I do differently? These are the same x minus. It's the 2 minus 3I. These two are different signs right here. Now, how do I factor? This is the part where you guys struggle with. What should I do with these negatives? Distribute them first. And we did this on Friday. X minus 2 plus 3I. Now what you're going to do is redistribute the negative, or the x minus 2. Why am I going to do that? If I don't, I'm going to have to FOIL this out. X times 2, x times 3, 2 times this, 2 times this, 2 times that, 3 times that. You'd have to do that 6 times, or 9 times, right? 3, 6, 9, yeah, 9 times. So instead, if you do it this way, all you have to do is go x minus 2 times x minus 2. What's x minus 2 times x minus 2? X minus 2 squared, right? And we'll handle that in a second. Do I need to FOIL the whole thing out? No, because the next 2 will cancel out. So you have minus 9i squared, but what is minus 9i squared? This is 9. So all you have to do is square this. This is x squared minus 4x plus 4, and then plus 9. Okay, so everyone would be able to do that for me, right, tomorrow, with your buddies?
Yeah.
Okay, so, next one is what I'm talking about.
Is everyone good?
Now, this adds a little twist to the story. This has an X and a Y value that we have to incorporate. Trevor?
No.
It's on you.
Don't mess up your own video.
Sure.
No problem.
Okay, thanks, bye. Okay, so, we have two zeros. We have X minus 1 minus 2I, and what else? X minus, you guys don't change these, they're both minus. And then what's this zero? X plus 2I. I need you to FOIL this out before we incorporate this. What do I do next? X what? Minus 1 plus 2I. And then what else? Okay, next, what do I do? Regroup these. Okay, FOIL. What's X minus 1 times X minus 1? Minus 4I squared, okay? So, FOIL this. X squared minus 2X plus 1, and then plus 4. Okay, does everybody have that part right there? Now, yes. Now what you're going to do is you're going to write y equals a, and then x squared minus 2x plus 5. Okay? Now, we need to find a. So what you're going to do is put a 2 in for x, and we're going to put a 4 in for y. So we have 4 equals a, and then we have 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 5. Tell me what a is. We have 5a equals 4, and a is 4/5. So now, what's our final answer? All you need to do, guys, is stick this, go back and put this right back here, and I don't care if you distribute that 4/5. So your best answer for me is going to be 4/5 times x squared minus 2x plus 5. Can you do that? Okay. Your test will look a lot like this. All right, now, check out this one. How many zeros will you have? 4. How many did they give you? They gave you 2. What are the 2? So what you're going to do is write x minus 2i and x what?
Plus 2i.
Good. Now FOIL this. You're going to get x squared what? Plus 4, right? So what I'm telling you is this factor will go into this polynomial. So what you're going to have to do is go x squared plus 4. Remember this? So let's do x to the 4th minus 5x cubed, 10x squared minus 20x plus 24. What kind of a remainder are we going to get? Why? Because this goes into this evenly. So let's do this. X squared, we need an x squared, right? X squared times x squared is x to the 4th. And then we have plus 4x squared. Now when we subtract, what do you get? You get negative 5x cubed plus 6x squared, and bring down negative 20x. What do we need now? Negative 5x. This times both of these is negative 5x cubed minus 20x. Notice how I line everything up? Now when you subtract this, these are going to cancel. You get 6x squared, these are going to cancel, and then bring down plus 24. Now we need a 6, right? 6 times x squared is 6x squared plus 24, and guess what happened? We got a 0 remainder. So what does this tell us right here? That there's 2 more zeros hidden in this polynomial. What am I gonna do to uncover those 2 zeros at this point? You're gonna either factor it, you're gonna quadratic formula it, or complete the square it. What, this factors to be x minus 2 times x minus 3. So what are these 2 zeros? 2 and 3. Now, can you tell me all 4 zeros?
3, 2,
3,
2,
2.
So plus or minus 2, so on your answer blank, and then you would write 2 and 3. Those are your 4. It says find, even though I gave you 2i, I want you to rename it. 2i, negative 2i. Got it? Okay, how about this last one? Sorry we didn't give you a lot of room. So we have x minus 2 minus I, and x minus 2 plus I. So we're looking for 4 zeros, and 2 of them are given. Well, one's given, but we know the other one. So let's spoil this out. We get x minus 2 plus I, and x minus 2 minus I. So when I redistribute these, and I FOIL, I get x minus 2 squared minus I squared. So what's this? Minus 4x plus 4 plus 1, which is 5, right? Now what do I have to do? So I'm going to take that, and I am going to, I have to use long division now. So I have x squared minus 4x plus 5 goes into, I've got x to the 4th minus, what's nice about these is you'll get 0 remainder. So you'll know, you'll have a good feeling that it's right. Okay? Almost done. Help me out here. I need x to the 4th. I've got x squared, so I need an x squared here. X squared times all 3 of these. We've got x to the 4th minus 4x cubed, and then plus 5x squared. Now when you subtract, these two are going to cancel. You're going to end up with x squared. Now bring down your minus 4x. I believe you're going to have to bring both of them down. You do? And when you multiply, this is going to be a 1. 1 times this is x squared minus 4x plus 5, and they cancel. And now I need you to solve these two. This is easy, you guys. Set this equal to 0. Plus or minus what? And there's the other 2 answers. So, on your answer blank, what am I going to write? It's 2 minus I, 2 plus I, and plus or minus I. Okay? Now, please don't think that I just covered everything that's on your test. I need you to go back and do 4.5 homework and 4.6. If you struggled with either one of those 2 sections, all of it's on YouTube. I did them all, okay?